Today we're going to be talking about what does it mean to be beautiful. Now, I also wanted to give a big appreciation for the amount of love that I got on the other video and that you guys are excited for this new series. I am too. I've decided that I'm going to be posting a new video every Saturday, so make sure that you're subscribed and turn on the notification thing so that you see every time I drop a new series, a new video on my series. And they're going to be dropping every Saturday from now on. But on today's video, again, we're going to be talking about what does it mean to be beautiful. Now, the first thing that I wanted to address was that you are beautiful, like, already. I don't need to, like, tell you. You don't need someone to tell you that you're beautiful. Also, like, there's not a category on how to be beautiful besides just being yourself, basically. I'm just going to be talking about what does it mean to be beautiful, because we all have different meaning behind it. We all see beauty in a different way. We all have our own perspective on what it means to be beautiful, or what is beautiful. And yes, so I'm not making a category on like how to be beautiful or nothing like that, because you already are. And me telling you, right, there's not a reason on why you're beautiful. Again, like, you don't need me to tell you that. I'm just reminding you about something that you already know, that you should already know, right? And that's why I want to talk about this as well, because it is something that I have struggled before a lot, which is why I did want to bring it up and talk about it. Now, I wrote down 3 things that for me is a major thing on being beautiful. Now, the first thing is confidence. The second thing is healthiness. And the third thing would be wisdom. Now you're probably already getting like your own viewing, your own definition on those 3 words I just said, but I'm going to be talking about them each individually. Now, the first word that I mentioned was confidence. So getting into that, confidence, I'm not going to lie, is a pretty, I don't want to say difficult. I was thinking it, but I don't want to say it's difficult. I don't want to say anything negative about it, but you'll get there. It's not easy. It's timing. It's just timing. Like, some people already have confidence. Others, it takes them a while to get that confidence, right? But you'll get it. And once you do get it, you can't lose it, because you already feel that experience of what it is on, like, gaining confidence. And once you realize that you have confidence, you don't let that go. I mean, sometimes it can't happen, but confidence is just a beautiful thing to have, and it plays a major role on you being beautiful, like you thinking that about yourself because of that confidence that you hold, right? And you need to find this within you. I was watching this other YouTube video, and this one girl said something that really captured my attention. She was saying it was about dancing. I don't even think that matters, but she said something that really, like, stuck to my attention, that didn't really play a big role in the video. But what she said was like, well, actually I did. Anyways, like, she was saying that you need to find that within yourself. Like, everybody has a different, this is what I took from it. But she was saying that confidence, like, we each find that differently, like, in our own way, right? Some like, for example, I may be doing something that, like, gets my confidence like that, but someone already has that confidence, and because they do that, like, they don't get more confidence. They're like, oh, like, it's normal for me. Anyways, I don't what I'm saying is you find confidence in different ways, so it just depends, like, to each individual on how you gain your confidence. But it's really important that you remember that, because we think that there's a specific way to be confident, but there's different ways on how your confidence could boost, how you could gain it, like. And this gets into me saying being comfortable with being comfortable with getting uncomfortable, because getting uncomfortable, that's like the major thing when it comes to confidence. Is you have to get uncomfortable. Like, there's no way, like, you can't go around it. Like, you have to get through it. That's what I think, me personally, right? That once I was able to get uncomfortable, like, and I would never expect me in a million years to be able to do that thing, but after you realize that you did it already and you do it over and over again, like, being comfortable with getting uncomfortable, right? Like, once you, like me, for example, I really struggled with confidence before, which is why I'm saying, which is why, like, I took a lot of noting, like, throughout that, on what made me like not have confidence and what helped me get confidence. And with that, like, it's just getting uncomfortable. Like, you're gonna have to push yourself at some point. Like, there's gonna be something that pushes you, or you make yourself, do it. And like, me personally, I was a shy person. Like, I wouldn't even want to talk. I felt like I would say something wrong, or I would say something weird, right? And just like after putting yourself in situations that you would never expect, like, for example, with me, I used to not want to speak to someone first, because I don't know, like, I just thought that I couldn't hold a conversation. And if you watched my last video, my acne had a lot to do with that too, because I just felt like they're going to immediately, like, judge me or something, right? But there came a point where I was just tired of that. Like, I was tired of, like, not being able to do something that seems easy to me personally. Like, just being able to talk to someone. Like, I want to be able to ask a simple question if I need to ask a question, or like I'm observing something, I want to say something, and like, just simply do little things like that for me were important, right? It may not be important to you. It might be something else that you were lacking in confidence, or you wanted to improve, right? It doesn't have to be specifically what I'm talking about. I'm just saying from my experience, and that was something that would be uncomfortable to me. So just pushing yourself, like I pushed myself with just being able to talk, because I didn't want to keep being like that. Like, there came a point where you don't want to be like that either, and then that's when you push yourself, and then that's when you like that feeling of not necessarily being uncomfortable, but doing it and knowing that you just did it, and knowing that you just accomplished it, right? Like, that is no longer something that makes you uncomfortable. Now you're comfortable doing it because you already did it, right? And that's what I meant by being comfortable with getting uncomfortable, and that's how I would see it. And that's something that comes with the confidence. Another thing that helped me with confidence was, you have to understand that you're going to get a lot of opinions from other people all the time. Like, we all have opinions, and we all feel the need to say our opinion, right? Like, we may not do that now. Like, I feel like I still may struggle with this a little bit, because I have a different viewing on things, and I'm going to say it, right? So I have a different viewing on things, and they're not always necessarily opinions, right? Like, they may be facts, It may just be information that I'm saying, but I love like speaking the truth. Like I love saying what I need to say, and I learned that only my opinion truly matters about myself. Not saying that I'm right and you're wrong. That's not where I'm getting at. I could see why someone would think that now that I'm speaking it. What I entirely mean is that someone else's opinion about you is not you. Your opinion about yourself, and you know what, I wouldn't even call it an opinion, it's a fact. If you see yourself like that, that's who you are, because you are you. And you know, and that's funny because I was actually talking about that not so long ago, that you know, a fact is a fact, and a feeling is a feeling, and then an opinion is an opinion. They're all three different things. The fact is factual, right? It, like, there's evidence that comes up with it, whether you like it or not, right? That's a fact, from my meaning, from my perspective. And then an opinion, or a feeling, right? A feeling is a gut feeling. Now, a lot of people don't believe in that, don't think it exists or whatever it is, but a feeling, a gut feeling is your intuition, like something in your body. Yeah, it is your body. It is your body telling you that yes to something, or telling you no to something. Like, you feel it inside you. Again, whether you believe that or not, we all feel it. We all feel it, that gut feeling, like at least once in our lifetime, whether we want to agree or not. We all felt that feeling where we may think yes, but our body says no. We may think no, and our body says yes, right? That's a feeling. And now an opinion is an opinion. It's something you think. It's neither a feeling or it's neither a fact. It's what you think. What you think, what you say about yourself and how you see yourself is what really matters, not someone else's opinion about you. That doesn't make you. That's why your opinion, how you see yourself, only matters. You are going to be like daily, even when we have confidence, we still get people telling us their opinion about us, how they see us, what they think about us, what they think is best for us, right? And this could be seen in many ways. Sometimes sometimes someone does inspire you to do something, or they remind you about something, or like inspiration, remembrance. They give you a lot of good advice too, that they put out there, that again gives you inspiration. Now, those are good things about what someone else can have an effect on you. But when it comes to them affecting you negatively, or when it comes to something that it could be a lot, but in all reality, you are what really matters on how you see yourself. Because if you say you're ugly, if you say you can't do something, if you say, all these things, who's making that true? Like, who's making that actually be real? You are, because you keep saying it. And because you keep saying it, you believe it. You start to believe it. And if you believe that about yourself, then others are going to believe that. You're going to rub that off on them, and they will then eventually believe that about you, because you said it, right? Because you believe it. Now, that's what I mean about your opinion only matters. I don't want to say opinion. I want to say the way you view yourself is what really matters. The way that you view yourself. Right? And that has to do a lot with confidence. You cannot let someone else's words, someone else's viewings, someone else's opinions about yourself have an effect on you. And now it is that is a challenge that we all have to overcome, that we all face with every day. But it's very easy once you acknowledge it, once you learn how not to let that affect you. It starts with, again, words, just telling yourself that you don't let that affect you. I actually wrote down a long time ago, when I started writing things down, one of the first things that I wrote down actually is to not let other people's opinions affect me. That is actually the first thing that I wrote down on my notebook here. Anyways, yeah, that is, it's crazy actually. So again, you decide if you're going to let it affect you or not, if you're going to let someone else's opinion affect you or not. Now that has a lot to do with confidence as well. Everything that I'm saying is what has helped me personally. Again, you could take this in if it's resonating with you. If it sparks something, then it resonates with you. Another thing that has to do with confidence is embrace your difference. Now, what I mean by this is, a lot of times we say, of course, we're not perfect. We all know that. We're human. And being human, we're not perfect, right? Now, we say that we have flaws, imperfections, that we have flaws, mistakes. And I was thinking I was going to write that, embrace your flaws, embrace your mistakes, but I was thinking, and I put instead embrace your difference, because just because you're different does not mean it's a flaw or it's a mistake. It doesn't. Like, you were made that way for a reason, right? Like, as I was talking again on my other video about dealing with my acne, I said that it's something that makes me different. I had to work harder on something that maybe someone else didn't have to, but because I did, like, I learned a lot more about it rather than me not working harder in it, if that makes sense. Like, if I didn't have acne, I wouldn't have to work harder, therefore I wouldn't know this much about what I had to work harder on, because I didn't have that. But because I had acne, I had to, well, I made myself, and now I've learned so much more, and I've embraced that difference, right? Difference being in me having acne, difference in me having a fast metabolism, difference in me seeing things differently, like difference in everything. We all have a difference in something, right? Once we learn how to embrace that, once, as in, like, it is it could, you're probably like, well, how do I do that? Like, it's like, how do I embrace that when I don't like that about myself? And you know, I definitely didn't like the fact that I had acne, so I completely understand if that's something you're questioning, how to embrace your difference. Now, the thing is that if it's had that tremendous effect in your life, it's made you work in a way that you probably wouldn't if you didn't have that, which is how I saw it. And because I had acne, I've gone through things that I could resonate with others that have probably gone through it as well. Now, if others didn't have acne, they probably couldn't relate or resonate with that. So I embrace it because I'm able to talk about it. I'm able to learn from it. I grew from it. Like I said, I learned so much from that I'm able to express and show to someone else as well. And I've embraced that. Like, I'm happy to say that. I'm happy to know that I've gone through that, because it's put me exactly where I'm at right now. The same thing as you, with whatever difference that you have, whatever comes up in your mind when you think of that, right? Learn how to embrace it. What did you learn from it? What did it make you grow? Like, how are you dealing with that? That's helped you shape you make you exactly who you are, right? Embracing it. There's a lot of ways that you can see it. That's how I've embraced it myself. And once you do, it's very beautiful. Of course, a lot of times we think like exterior, but it's a lot of interior too that we have to embrace. And I'm actually going to get to that later on. And another thing with confidence, right, is knowing yourself. What I mean by that is getting to know exactly who you are, how you think, what affects you, like what makes you you, like literally, like how you are. As in me, I'm a very loving person. I like to express myself a lot. Not others, I express myself differently than others. And then, you start really realizing maybe you're like, oh, I don't like expressing myself. Or maybe you do like expressing yourself, but maybe you just don't like doing it because you care what someone else might say. How do I know that? Because I felt like that. I definitely felt like that. I used to say that I don't like expressing myself, that I'm to myself, that I'm very to myself, and that I don't like expressing myself. That wasn't true, because I do. I love expressing myself. I love talking about myself, and I love expressing who I am. And back then, I didn't realize that because I cared about what others thought. So it made me shut that off about myself. It made me want to believe that I didn't like that, when in reality I just cared about what others thought. So I was starting to know that about myself, that I actually did like expressing myself. So that's what I mean by knowing yourself, is you gotta dig down deep interior too. And last thing I would say about confidence is, in all, being you and loving yourself. That's the number one thing that I would say is self-love. Like, yes, you could love the outer you, but loving the inner you, like exactly what I just said right now, that I love expressing myself and I love that about myself, but back then I didn't because I cared about what others thought. You have to love who you really are too. Like, you cannot shut that off because what others are saying and what you might think others are saying, right? I mean, personally, there's things I would want to do, but I wouldn't do it because I'd be like, oh, what if they think this and now they're gonna think this about me? I used to do that a lot, but then I started loving the fact that, you know what, I want to do this. Why am I even thinking about what others are going to think if I love doing it? So it's self-love within and from the outside as well, right? Now the second thing is healthiness, mentally and physically. I would say that, do you, how you, do you as in how you're meant to do you. I do believe that we all have a gift and a purpose. Like, literally, we all do have a purpose and a gift that we all need to use, however it is. Like, the fact that I'm opening up this space here on YouTube and talking about just love and sharing about my experience, I love doing that, and it feels like that's what I want, that's what I'm meant to do, sharing my experience. And however it is that you're meant to do what you need to do, right, that's the healthiness and the mental. And then the physically as well. Like, of course, I'll talk about like bodies, and just make sure that you're healthy is all that matters. If you have a fake whatever, it doesn't matter. And if someone is hating about that, about you, it's your body. Like, it's their body. Like, why hate on them? Like, what? I don't understand why I hate, right? But not getting into that, that's them. Like, how does that affect you? But physically, as long as you're healthy physically is all that matters. Like, doesn't, as long as you're safe, as long as your body is safe from the outside and from the inside as well, right? And you also want to make sure that healthiness, as in, are you feeling like secure? Like, a lot of us are insecure about things. That's also with the confidence, but a lot of times it's also if you're healthy, like mentally, with the confidence. Obviously, it's all in the head. Like obviously your mental health matters too, but confidence has a lot to do with your mind. Like it's all in the mind, actually. All of it. What we think about ourselves, how we see ourselves, right? What others say about us, how we process that. It makes us feel insecure a lot of times. I know I feel insecure a lot. Now you also want to go back to that and analyze it and make sure you find out what it is that's making you feel that type of way, and going back to knowing yourself, right? Like realizing those type of things and really, like, again, embracing your difference. Like, why do you hate that about yourself, or why do you love that about yourself? Like, is it really that you hate it because you hate it, or because everybody else hates it? Like, are you feeling insecure? Like, right, that's another thing about being healthy and coming down to the beautifulness of you, right? And then the third thing that I wrote down was wisdom. So me, like, wisdom has a lot to do with my beauty, right? Again, this is how I view it. This is not a category, a list of what it takes to become beautiful. You already are beautiful. I'm just letting you know what's helped me realize and what I see within myself as beautiful, right? So your standards, you want to make sure that you have standards. I know that a lot of people have a lot of energy. I know for a fact I have a lot of energy. Like, I could be doing one thing and then be doing another thing, and that's perfectly fine for me. And maybe I get tired of that one thing, not because I'm exhausted, but because I'm just bored of it and I want to do something else. Like, not a lot of people like doing it, that they like sticking to one thing. So those people who like sticking to one thing may have different standards than that person who can like do a lot of things and then get bored of that one thing and then go to the next. Those two people may have different standards. So it's okay to have a standard for yourself, because you know yourself, right? So you know what is right for your energy, and you know what is not good for your energy. And just because you know you're strong doesn't mean you have to deal with that, because it's a waste of your energy. Like, that's what I mean by having standards. Not like, oh, like they need to be this tall, or they need to have this haircut. Not those kind of standards. Those are like unnecessary standards. Those, like, are those high vibrations? Like, is it necessary, really? Not for me personally. I mean, that has nothing to do with anything. Like, that doesn't help me if whether they have green hair, red hair, like brown hair. How does that help me? I mean, of course, we all have different likings of how someone looks, or how you look, or whatever, but that's not what I'm talking about when I say standards. I understand if that's what you think, but that is not what I mean. What I mean is setting standards for your, like, inner self with your energy is what I mean, because you don't want to waste your energy. Like, let's say you already have confidence, you have the healthiness wise all down, and that would just come down to having your standards, because you don't want someone to come in and ruin all that, because you didn't put a barrier line, or you didn't set a standard, so you're accepting whatever, and whatever's coming to you is what I mean. So, which is why you want to set your standard, because you know yourself, right? Like, why go through the trouble of dealing with that when you don't have to? Because you know yourself already, right? Is what I mean by setting standards. I'm not saying to limit yourself, not saying to limit something or limit someone. Just set a standard that you already been through, that you already acknowledge, that you know what is good for your energy and what is bad for your energy is what I mean by setting a standard. And what has to do with the wisdom. And then I also put down on wisdom is knowing yourself. I've talked about that already with confidence, but knowing yourself is really important, internally and externally, right? Inside, outside. And it has a lot to do with your wisdom too. So I wrote that down twice. So it's important, I would say, to know yourself. Is what it all comes down to in reality, is just getting to know yourself. I've really been doing that these past weeks, I would say, is getting to know myself. Like who I really am, like more like the bad and the good, like both. Embrace both. You cannot ignore that. Like you know what it is about you that you don't like, and learning how to turn that positively and still embracing it is like a relief, like, because now you're truly expanding that self-love about you. And that's what I have for what it means to be beautiful for me. Not I would say that these are really good qualities, but again, we all have different viewings on beauty. I'm not saying, again, that this is what you need to be in order for you to be beautiful. This is just my viewing on what it is to be beautiful, and there's probably a lot more. This is just important things that have helped me realize that I am beautiful, and what is most important, I would say. But I wanted to share this because a lot of times talk about beauty and it's just about your face, your body, what you have. It's more to that. You don't have to try to make someone like you, like force it. I'm not saying like relationship wise, like you friendship wise or colleague wise, like no, like you know what you are, you know you're beautiful. I wouldn't force something because I know what I truly am. Again, knowing yourself. So that's what I wanted to say and speak upon. And thank you if you did watch the full video. This was probably longer than what I expected it to be. But again, I'll be releasing a new video every Saturday, so make sure that you're subscribed and have that the notification on, so that you can see whenever I do post another video. But again, I appreciate all the love and all the support. And again, leave down a comment if you want to say something else, or you guys like have a question, not about me, but you have a question for yourself or for a friend or for whoever, or just want to share something, you're always free to. You don't have to, but you're always free to. And make sure you follow my Instagram as well. I'm gonna be updating on there too. I do update on there all the time, and for more updates, actually follow my Instagram. I may be doing lives on there probably later on. But yes, every Saturday I will be posting a new YouTube video, and thank you for being in this space. And if you do love it and like this and like what I'm saying, it's for a reason. I'm not just doing this to do it. Again, I love expressing myself, and that expression goes on to you and inspires you, leading you to express yourself and inspiring someone else. And therefore, right, we just have this circle of that expression and that love that's in there. But again, thank you, and I will see you on the next video.